Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be quickly discussing the plans by Theresa May to expand grammar schools because I have a unique perspective on grammar schools, having been to one myself, and I didn't enjoy it. But that's not too relevant to this conversation. I mean, I got good grades in the end. It turned me into a well-rounded, intelligent, if I do say so myself, human being. But I got an insight into what it's like to go to a grammar school, and I oppose Theresa May's plans to expand them. And the number one reason for this is I feel like the people of the UK have been lied to, because in the past few years there's been nothing but cuts to public services under the Conservative government. But suddenly, as Theresa May gets into power, there is this money available to spend on grammar schools, and I wonder where it's come from. It's the same with wars, you know? There's no money to fund public services, but as soon as we need to bomb people with very expensive planes, the money is there. Theresa May gets into power, and it's hard not to wonder whether it's a career move on her part. But of course, I'm not a Tory, so I would be cynical about everything that Theresa does, and maybe that blinds my judgment. I mean, when you come into power, you've got to make some changes, but it just does not seem like the right time to be spending money on something which will benefit the few rather than the many, when public services, as I say, have been cut back so much, you know. And it's quite difficult for me to sit here and go into the specifics of how many people that go to grammar schools are middle class and how many people that go to grammar schools are working class. Because it was hard for me to remember, you know, how much the kids talked about how much their parents earned and what sort of jobs they had. I did have other working class friends, but they didn't seem to be in the majority. So the question is she trying to appeal to a certain type of voter with this policy? It's hard to tell, you know. I'm not a mind reader, but I do think it's something that should be considered. I do think it's a possibility, because it really does seem like the wrong time to bring in this sort of change. So who is she trying to impress with it, you know? Because she's certainly really peeved off an awful lot of people with it. It really doesn't seem like the right time to bring it in. And you've got Labour supporters, Labour politicians saying that grammar schools are archaic. And the reason why I believe that they are saying this is because, look, I took the 11 plus and I got into a grammar school, but I remember taking the paper, the test that you have to do to get in, and it was all problem solving based. But that is not the only way in which someone can be intelligent. You can be creative. You could be able to memorise lots of information, but the test doesn't take that into consideration. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. And then if you pass, you get in. If you don't pass, you've got to go to a comprehensive school which is underfunded. Is that fair? No, it just seems strange, it seems odd, and it seems like it could be a career move. It certainly doesn't seem right. I would like to live in a country where no matter what your learning style is, it is catered for, because some people just can't cope with the pressure of grammar schools and some people can. And I would like it if people that can cope with that pressure would have somewhere to go to, and people that can't, that maybe are more creative or they just think in a different way, can do something else which suits them. I would like every child to get what they need. But obviously at the moment money is tight, and Theresa has decided that the people that will get the money are those who manage to pass a very specific test when they're 11 years old, and it just seems strange, it seems odd, it seems like the exact wrong time to do it, and it's peeved off a lot of people. But then you get people looking at it in a very one-dimensional way, saying, well look, grammar schools help the people who manage to pass the test, they give them opportunities which are really great for them in their future, so why not let some more people go to grammar schools? But all of the points I've made in this video show how giving opportunities to the few rather than the many, it's really not the right thing to be doing at the moment. You know, why can't that money that is in the pot to go to grammar schools go to funding a better education for everybody? And I think the only conclusion we can come to is that Theresa May would rather spend money on a specific sector of people than to spend it on everyone. She's happy for everyone else to be left behind if it means that some people can have a really good education and go on to do great things. And you've got to think, maybe she's trying to, in some sort of way, divide society and create more of an intelligence hierarchy, you know? Why favour certain people on the basis of a test which, you know, can't decide whether someone really deserves a better education? So just think about those things, because, you know, it just seems a bit crazy to me. So thank you very much for watching. Please like this video if you did like it, and I'd love to hear what everyone has to say in the comments, and of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you and goodbye.